All right, Diego, this video is specifically for you. This is part two for the CYBR software trade. Uh, Yesterday we went over just the breakout trade. And as you could see here, yesterday they had, I guess, pretty good earnings and kind of gapped up and basically had a day one of kind of explosion. So going into today, and I believe I covered it on that video, I was sort of looking for, okay, on a day two, really didn't want to see this close, below 50% of this day's range. I mean, ideally, you really didn't want it to go below that. But let's go through the intraday. What happened here? So it opened up, and as in typical fashion, it opened up, took out yesterday's high, and probably got some people potentially either added or whatnot. So that definitely was the bull trap. And then the thing basically went straight down. The opening low was 42.20. Again, this is what I have here. It shows where I bought it yesterday. The algorithm that I have created, and rode the position, and then had a safety, safety Fib1X safety exit, which basically triggered when it took out the morning low. So which is frustrating. Below 42. And especially, hey, that's almost, $1.50 almost here, but again, I'm not I'm not smart enough to sell the high, the high print. I'm just not that good, so it's a matter of, letting the, riding the wave as best you can, and protecting yourself from a tougher or worse drawdown, which actually ended up happening. Because I remember when it happened, I was your first psychological reaction is, oh, that's screwed up, that's gonna be the low, I'm an idiot, or my system sucks, or whatever. But especially when you see it stabilize and you want to buy, you just want to sort of jump in and buy it back. But if you see what happened, it just kind of went sideways, and then broke down further. I tweeted somewhere in here, I think I tweeted, hey, CYBR is weak, and at that point I'm like, you know what, it's as long as it stays above 40 was my tweet. I think it's constructive. I said, hey, if we can stay above 40, it's still a constructive day today, and it tested that right pretty much down to the tick. In fact, the low here is 40.01, and unfortunately, again, I'm not smart enough to sort of get into that. I mean, that was a nice little reversal there, and I guess you could have bought it right off that 40 and leaned on that figure. But the system that I've programmed here is it wants to wait for some sort of confirmation, right? So again, the system's not a buy the low type of deal. It's looking for, okay, we want some price confirmation, and it sort of got it here. I think this fast moving average has something to do with that. Buying at that level, and it bought it here. It actually retraced a little bit, and then I think at this time the stop to sell this position I had a safe was 40.5, just under 40.5, and it got to the low of 40.77. So didn't quite get there, thankfully, because and you can see here I did draw this little trend line here, and once it broke that trend line, got back above those moving average, and it just freaking took off from there. So pretty impressive move, And again, it's nice to, to see when your system works. I don't want to say as advertised, because many times you are selling the low or buying the high and whatever. But again, I think it's just a game of risk management, and you take shots where you see potential, and having something that can manage the trade effectively, or at least in a money management sense effectively, is a good thing. It just closed pretty well here. Again, the Fibonacci 2.618 target is I have from this here was 46, just under 47 actually. It was like 46 and 46.70 or 46 and a half, I forget. And then the Fibonacci 2x for this. Break above, this little peak to trough is just under 50. So I think it's well on its way. I mean, it's almost at that first target at 46 and change. So I think sometime in the next week probably should see that at least that 46 and change, and maybe even 50 if and again, this is one of those things now. I think you just got to own it and walk away. At least for the next few weeks, maybe into the year end. It may be one of those that sort of does the G Pro type of move, right? So if you look at G Pro, and let's go back to its beginnings, sort of right around the same time. And it's not an exact pattern of G Pro, but pretty similar, especially when G Pro took out this initial high here, kind of did this, CYBR kind of did this, but then this second was a little bit not as, it didn't seem as volatile or as much of a drawdown as G Pro, but then G Pro got up here and sort of took out this little trend line, took out that $50 level, and then it just kind of became a pretty good Momo move, right? And look at that. So again, I'm not saying this is what's going to happen with CYBR. Went right, $20 move, pretty impressive. But it has potential, and it's a pretty good, nice day too. Has this little tail here, but I'm sure it got a lot of people out that had them on the move yesterday. That little drawdown, which again just adds more fuel to the potential fire going higher. So anyway, we'll continue to see how this works out. Thanks for watching.